Oh boy. Parents in anime. The loving, the always there for their kids. The deadbeats. When it comes to anime, we see the biggest deadbeats of all time doing the most outlandish things when it comes to their kids. So in this video, we're going to be going over the biggest deadbeats in anime and hopefully uncover why they're doing these crazy things. And if I miss someone, my bad. But make sure you guys comment the biggest deadbeats if they're not in this video and let me know so they can be in the next one. So first up, we have Endeavor, the father who woke up Chris Breezy. So in the MHA world, quirks are basically everything, and almost the entire population has one. Whether they're good or bad or literal trash, everybody has one. Like, look at him. He's a literal squirt bottle. But through and through, we have Endeavor sitting at the pinnacle of all heroes at the #2 spot. So this man is so salty he's not at the #1 spot. What do you think he does? Do you think he just works harder on his Vegeta timing? Wrong. Very wrong, actually. This man has an arranged marriage with a woman with an ice quirk and breeds multiple children in hopes of one of them having both quirks, which is his fire quirk and the mother's ice quirk. If you think it does not get worse, boy, are you mistaken. So on the 4th attempt, he finally gets that one child. And the treatment of this child was so bad, he refuses to use that fire side. And we get a flashback of that treatment, and peep this.
Now stand up. If you get hurt that easily, you can forget about beating All Might, or even a small-time villain.
Damn! He beating the shit out this little nigga. He is hitting little bro so hard that he is throwing up. Bro looks like he's only tall enough to reach Endeavor's knees, which means bro is bending down to hit him. And why is Endeavor wearing skinny jeans? And why do his toes look like that?
Please stop pushing him. He's only 5 years old.
5 years old? Bro is in kindergarten catching #2 hero right hooks. And then this man's response to that is,
You can take it. Get out
and
of my way.
backhands his wife. Like he was terrorizing his family.
I don't want to, Mom. Please.
Like, come on, this is so messed up. So since Shoto's his little double quirk project, he's not allowed to play with his brothers and sisters. So he's sitting there watching his siblings play, and peep this, y'all. They show us his siblings, and this nigga's cut is so trash. Do you know how much of a menace of a father you have to be to hook your son up with this cut? Bro got his son out here looking like Sonic. Got his son looking like an onion. Got his son looking like Vegeta. But then we overhear his mother talking, and she's ranting about how she can't stand his left side and how it reminds her of Endeavor. Then Todoroki walks in, and she completely snaps when she sees that left side, pouring boiling water on this man's left side of his face. So then Todoroki asks where's his mother at after the entire incident, and he's going to say,
Oh, she hurt my masterpiece, so I put her in a hospital to keep you safe.
masterpiece? Are you kidding me? You really can't do anything but feel bad for this family. Like his antics even drove one of his sons off the edge, man. But I will give him the benefit of the doubt. He is starting to redeem himself, but you still gotta be in this video, my boy. That resume is kind of crazy. Oh boy, brace for this next one, because coming up next on our deadbeat list, we have Shao Tucker from Full Metal. So for a little bit of context of this one, Shao Tucker is a scientist that works for the government, right? And every single year he has to take this assessment to prove that he is worthy of keeping his state alchemist license. Oh, haha, how he became a state alchemist? Oh, I'll tell you. He just, fused his wife with a dog. Yeah. So you see where this is going, right? So the military stops by and they let him know assessments is coming up. And Shao Tucker's trash ass basically has been selling. He's just not been able to impress the government. And through the thick and the thin, even though this man is being so trash as a father, Nina, this little girl, has been sticking with him, supporting him. So this family gets a little visit from our main characters, Edward, Elric, and Alphonse. And Nina basically tells them that her father has been real busy and the only person she's been able to talk to is her dog. Which brings them back to their childhood, hitting a soft spot because they can relate to that heavy. So Ed and Al, like the good human beings they are, they play with her, having a good time, having good quality time, right? So cute, man. So adorable. But unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. So Shao's like, man, I can't fail this. I can't afford to fail this assessment. And Nina encourages him. She's like, if they tell you no, me and the dog will just growl at them. Being so cute and adorable, right? And peep this, y'all. After she says that, Shao Tucker asks her, do you want to play with your father tomorrow? And she says yes, so happily, because she has not been able to spend any time with her father. So we get a time cut, and now Ed and Al are looking for Nina and her father. And they come across this dark room, and Shao Tucker lets them know he did it. He lets them know he finally created a chimera that can talk. But this chimera ends up calling Edward Big Brother, but the only person that calls him Big Brother is Big Brother Ed. Yes, that's right. This nigga merged his daughter with the family dog. And that just drew the line right there. He then shows to have zero remorse about what he did to his daughter. Oh, I can't stand this nigga. His Squidward's house looking ass, his Doofenshmirtz with no motion looking ass, his Aboogly Bot from Crash Bandicoot looking ass. Oh, I can't stand him. Nigga look like Ferb off a perk.
I don't see what you're so upset about. This is how we progress. Human experimentation is a necessary step. I would think a scientist should understand. Shut up!
So Ed turns up and just starts beating the bricks out this old man. And then his brother stops him, but then he looks to the left and then he sees Nina.
Edward, no.
Oh my gosh, this is so sad. I'm not crying, you are. And unfortunately, they cannot change her back, so she is stuck this way forever. And through all of this, the only thing Shao Tucker is thinking about is the fact that he made the time for the assessment, making one of the saddest scenes in all of anime, but it does not stop there. A real stepper named Scar then walks in and gets ready to punish this man Shao for what he's done and kills him. And Nina sees this. And even though Nina has got turned into a chimera, she sits there crying for her father. Scar sees this, feels bad, prays for her, and ends her life as well. She is in a lot of pain, and he did what he needed to do, putting her out of her misery alongside her father. I'm not crying, you are. The next deadbeat we have coming up is this bitch-ass mom from Erased. Oh boy, brace for this one too. So for a little bit of context, the main character named Satoru gets sent back into the 5th grade in order to save her life. She died when he was in the 5th grade and he feels nothing but guilt because he knows he could have probably saved her life. Now, this little girl's name is Kaio. So adorable, man. She often comes to school late or sometimes never at all, and she always has bruises all over her. So his main goal is to basically become her first friend and save her from the fate she has waiting for her. It's all up to the main character Satoru to find out what is going on with her and save her life.
Like, does that mean you'd kill to protect me?
No, you don't get it. I could have saved her.
So he's doing his thing. He became her first friend and they got this little adorable friendship going on, man.
Satoru, you got this?
I think so.
Good. You better not suck.
And just like I said earlier, every good thing must come to an end. So brace for this next part. He then goes to her house to see if everything's alright. He sees that her backpack is on the ground outside and sees that some of her clothes are outside as well, ripped up. He then follows these big footsteps and it leads him to this shack outside. When he opens it, he sees Kaio beaten up, laying on the ground. She's just laying on the ground crying, and then her mother walks out acting like nothing happened and asks her why she's laying on the ground like that. She then yeets my boy to the side, and me personally, I know she would have been way bigger than me, but she would have had to catch these hands like I was Bull. I would have had to hit her with that Wolfang fist. He then asks the mom, how did Kyle get all of those bruises? And she forces Kyle to talk, and Kyle responds with, I fell. When I tell you I was so close to defying the laws of physics, jumping through the screen and whooping her ass, it then cuts to the inside of their house. And what goes in on the inside of their house, she starts shoving Kyle's face into the sink, drowning her, telling her she needs to get the swelling down on her face. She then starts talking about how if she shows up to school with a swollen up face, the teachers and the faculty are going to start asking her questions. And you can't do nothing but feel bad for this little girl, man. Kyle's my goat, man. It then pans to the stepfather, and the stepfather's talking about something.
Don't waste a goddamn ice.
Looking like a crackhead version of Spirit from Soul Eater. You are not future Trunks. You can't pull this cut off. But then, as expected, she pulls up to school with more bruises. But then, after episodes of plot twists, heartbreaking, and emotional moments, the time has come. Satoru gets Kyle to spend the night at his house and they get CPS. So they end up showing up to Kyle's front door, and the first thing the mom almost does is smack Kyle, but she sees people are with her. So then we're like, it's time to press the issue. Like, you're not gonna keep putting your hands on her. If I was there, it would have been no talking. I don't care if the police is in the back. As soon as I see her, we would have been in that front yard scrapping. So then the mother gets mad and she picks up a shovel and she swings it at Satoru's mom. And Satoru's mom is standing there like Himothy. She does not move. But Satoru and Kyle end up pulling them apart and the shovel barely misses her. But my thing is, what if they didn't pull her? She would have just got her head taken off. She then throws Kyle onto the ground and she gets ready to swing that shovel again. But that's when CPS pulls up and they start pressing the issue. She then sits there and tries to gaslight them and let them know that nothing is going on, but they're not going for it. She no longer has custody of Kaio. We then get a backstory on how Kaio's mother used to get beat by Kaio's father, but that rage she ended up getting from her husband, she started turning it on to her daughter, which is so whack. Ooh, she lucky I'm not in this show. I would beat her ass. They then have this emotional ass scene where the mom starts crying, but nobody's buying it. I'm not buying it. Kaio's not buying it. The mom's not buying it.
I wasn't buying it. Kaio wasn't buying any of it either. She wouldn't even look at her mom. I don't blame her.
Kaio then thanks Satoru for being her first friend, and Kaio's grandmother gets custody of her. And the moral of the story is, when I see Kaio's mom, I'ma slap the taste out her mouth. But on a side note, if you think Kaio and Satoru were supposed to get with each other, you missed the entire point of this show. He said multiple times he wanted to be the friend she needed, and he was like 30 years old, trapped in a 5th grade body, and she was like 10 years old. Come on, y'all, lock in.
Hello? You're 29.
But I do highly recommend every anime that was went over in this video. Let me know who I missed out in this video so they can be in the next one. Road to 200K. Let's get it. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys made it this far, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and hit that bell to get post notifications.